Okay guys, crypto is heating up. You see kids making millions of dollars a month on meme coins, and people keep asking me how long will it last? And honestly, it's not going anywhere. However, it is getting more and more competitive. And if you want to make money, you have to be locked in this bull run. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to scan for those 100x meme coins early. So before we get into it, you don't need to pay for any groups or any extra tools right away, but you do want to be on a free platform. I've used every platform, Bullex, Nova, Photon, you name it. The platform that you want to be on is Axiom Pro. I'm going to leave an access code for you guys because it is invite only. Just look in the description. I also have other videos breaking down how to set it up and how to go about that. It's very straightforward, so you could go and check that out as well. We're going to go very in-depth in this video. If you get lost or need any help at all, feel free to join my free community. We have a full course going from A to Z on everything meme coins, and we also share information and alpha together with like-minded traders. So you could click the link in the description and you can gain access to that for free. All right guys, let's get into it. All right, so let's go over scanning. When you're actively scanning in the trenches, you want to have your wallet tracker ready. You want to have your Twitter tracker ready. The in-app tools in Axiom are great. You want more of an edge on that. So what I mean is, like in our Discord server, we have a faster wallet tracker and we have faster Twitter monitor, all the right people that follow. Now, these are great tools, especially when you're looking on the chart. That's more so what I like these for, the Axiom. But when it comes to scanning, you want to make sure you have the best tools. We have them here in the Discord. I'm gonna be launching Rage Pro, where I will be having better tools and more monitors, and that's a little bit advanced, but you want to use faster tools just in order to stay on top. The reason why I say that is because right here, as I'm scanning, I already see Twitter plays. If you look here, this memecoin, make video games great again. Elon Musk said market cap's at 137K. If I go ahead and I click on it, you can see Dex has been paid. We have the full can installed, so we see Dex is paid. Dex is paid here. Still has a little bundles in there. Top 10%, really good distribution. Dev not holding, snipers out, no insiders, and LP burnt. So this looks like, as far as distribution goes, it looks great. It already ran up to 210K market cap. Now, if you were looking on a Twitter monitor or even had the Twitter tracker here open and were able to see that in real time, you would have been one of the earliest people. Maybe you would have got in pre-bonding. Maybe you would have got in pre-bonding around 30, 40K and already hit, 5 to 10x depending on your entry. So those are things that you want to think about. Like, and the first thing that you want to do when you see a Twitter play like this is just look at it, see the legitimacy of it. And you see here, Elon Musk, it's got to be done. Make video games great. And he said this was about an hour ago. So by the time people actually started catching on to it, you saw it gained leg and it started pumping up. Elon Musk just got back on Twitter today. So it was just a whole bunch of Twitter plays from Elon Musk. He's one of the main movers in meme coin markets. Like, it's crazy, it's ridiculous. So this is what we call a Twitter play. Now, sometimes they will run up to million, and then sometimes they could top out at a few 100K market cap, depending on how much maybe the community forms around it, if it gets CTO'd and things of that nature, right? And CTO just means community take, where a bunch of people get behind a project, really start to push it, really start to run raids on Twitter, really start to make this a bigger meme than just a tweet. Now, if it's just a tweet, it will usually top out around these areas, but if it becomes bigger than that, then you can hold on to it and catch, even from here, it could 10x, 20x, 30x. So this is what scanning is all about, being able to find these, filtering out the bullshit. So if I look here, Trusk, you see this 71% insiders, 99% insiders, bundled to hell. Look at this bundle. That's not something that you want to touch. And you want to ask yourself, anytime you get into a play, or about to get into a play when you're scanning, you got to ask yourself, does price look organic? Does price look organic? That's going to be one of the main things that can tell you right away if it's bundled or it's not bundled before you even see the statistic. This doesn't look good. Price looks funky. It's usually a reason behind it. You want to see price health. You want to see waves in the market. This is not a real thing, and there's no real narrative behind it. Elon, Trust, like whatever this is. I guess it's a couple name. Maybe it's ran before. Who knows? But this definitely isn't it. So you go back to Pulse. Now, again, like I told you guys earlier, you don't want to be on new pairs as you'll get there as you get faster with the research and you know narratives and you know what to look for. But for the most part, you want to look at migrated and final stretch, because if you get in pre-migration, you'll catch some X's for sure. But even at migrated, there will be a little bit of a safer play, a bit of a safer play. The new pair. If I'm looking here, anglerfish, this already ran today. I was in the real, and then you see price is up only. This doesn't look organic. You know, you probably see like this. If it was an organic, we go back to Pulse and we look and we see what's going on here. So for example, let's say I wanted to look at whatever this is. Okay, it looks like Dex is paid. Holders are at 10,000 holders, but only 122 pro traders. That's kind of weird, don't you think? That's kind of a little bit of a weird thing. But let's see. Let's do a little bit more research. Percent bundles, not terrible. I'd rather see less. Dev has been clipping out at the bottom. That's interesting. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good at all. I don't know what. So I'm already leaning towards I don't want to buy it, even though it's up only. I wouldn't want to get it. But let's see what it's all about. So we'll look at the Twitter. AI assistant for all your needs, powered by DeepSeek. Okay, so this is an AI assistant powered by data. They have a Telegram community. This is the ticker, the real ticker. Agnes. Let's see if it's been done before. That's interesting. Why has it been done so many times? And for that reason, I am out. I am out. So right now, I just probably saved myself some money. This is probably a team that makes it look so professional, so fire, just to dump on you later. Now, you can literally mitigate this losing on pairs like just by doing a little bit of research. One of the most important things that you can ever do is check if it's been done. Oh, and look at this, fam. Look at that dump. That is a nasty dump. This thing will be at zero within the next few hours or minute. They got a little Telegram community. I'm at a point where I only even look at the Telegram community if it's a real thing, and even at that, market's been so rotational lately that you know the community can push it, but I'm not so involved in the community. Usually I'm more of a trader than a holder, but the community can be a good thing to look at, could be a good indicator. If the community looks good and you see they're going hard, they're making raids, then that might be something that grow and goes hard. Now you could look at if it's been searched on Twitter, right? Agnes and the contract address, you see these are bots calling it. These are just bots. These aren't real people talking about Chinese bot. Nobody's really actually talking about the coin. It's just bots. So that's not something I want to see, right? I want to see somebody breaking it down, talking about the narrative. What is it? And you see, oh, one person talked about it. Yeah, I guess did it 70? Maybe the real Agnes. I don't even know if this is the real Agnes. Is there one with a higher market cap? 430. No, this is the one he's talking about. But it's been done so many times. It's just weird. So if it's real and if it's something backed by DeepSeek, which is, open AI's competitor at the moment, they've been killing it, then I can see why this narrative run. But a lot of these AI coins tend to be LARP, tend to be not real, tend to be farmy. So I don't usually always get in them. Sometimes I would make a gamble, even if we gamble down here. Yeah, sure, maybe we would have caught a good runner, but this isn't a price that I would get it after everything that we just seen. Because why has it been done so much? Now, a reason why it could have been done so many times is because a lot of times when these coins are about to drop, what happens is they announce that they're going to drop a coin, and what a lot of devs do is they will try to front run it and put out fake ones for the real launch to make people think it's real, and they'll link the real Twitter, they'll link the website if they have the website, but it hasn't even been out. So maybe this is the real one, but even at that, I wouldn't get in at this price, right? These AI agents, they don't usually have legs the way that they use, and even if you did get an AI agent, you want to be in early. You don't want to be in at these prices chasing, because this is most likely what's going to happen right here. You're at the top, you're down, and you're just waiting to possibly break, and that's not what we want, right? So I would give this maybe like a D level rating, right? If it was low, I probably still wouldn't get in, because look at how hard they farm. That looks like a farm, right? And a farm is pretty much when people who hold supply in a token, they won't let price go up. They're just eating all off of all the volume that's coming into the market. Price wants to go up, but they just keep dumping on people that are trying to get in. They keep dumping, and that's why price wouldn't go up. So they just farmed a whole token all the way down here. That would have turned me off already. But and then I guess they let it fly, and now it's at where it's, oh yeah, maybe this is the real token. All those old tokens were probably people trying to front run this coin, right? So that's another thing you want to be careful with. Make sure it's the real ticker, it's the real CA, and then even at that, you want to do, dig. You want to really dig, do thorough research, because it's a minefield out here. The reason why we scan is so so that we don't lose money on unnecessary loss. Just a little bit of research could get you. Okay, so that's an AI play. Now we dig even a little bit deeper. Let's see what else. I don't like this right here. Dev holds 77%. We're not even touch that, right? Dank dollar, top 10 holders 76%. We're not gonna touch that. Let's Twitter has 100 times. Definitely not gonna touch that. See, they pay Dex. They have a little bit of insiders, a little bit of bundles. Distribution is not that bad, but bro, for something to be Twitter to be over 100 times, that is not a good sign. Okay, so this is AI powered assistant, streamline, optimized. So like stuff like this is LARP. They make it look so fancy, so good. You can see price going up like crazy, but here's a rule of thumb. If you don't understand it, or you're a little bit confused, and especially in this AI stuff, they'll try to, I don't know, like you could probably feel a little bit intimidated by the code and the this and that, and that's just stuff to confuse you so that they can scam. If it doesn't make common sense, then it's probably LARP, and you're probably going to get scammed. Enhance your web development here, and then there's no contract address. Why is this null? Why is that null? There's no contract. So that's a weird thing. Do they have it on here? Oh yeah, they have a CA. So I guess, you know, they have the CA here, probably getting some bids, but again, this is meme coins. Nobody really cares about utility. Nobody cares about any of that stuff. So at this price, even if this was real, I wouldn't get it. All right. And then look, Dev clipped out the bottom, farmed it a little bit. They let it fly to 1 million. Now, that's not to say that maybe if you're early on a coin like this and you see that it's legit and it's a real team and they're building something, you can trade it. We're traders first. Get your P, get your profit. But these levels, you don't want to chase profits. You don't want to chase trade, you know. And even this is bearish. Like when a dev is selling that, like what are they selling for? Right? 500, they sold a whole bunch of money. And maybe they're transparent about it on their Twitter, but these are things that you want to look for. No, they didn't talk about anything about selling for that. Maybe you gotta look at the tokenomics, but again, for things like this, I wouldn't. Same thing. I'll give it. Now, if we go to Pulse and we're looking and we're scanning, now there's no real alpha. There's no real narrative. This whole Argentinian thing just happened. So there's been like a lot of jail this and jail that for those guys because people are mad they got wiped. That's kind of been a narrative for right. But I don't see any other than Trump tree. Market's kind of dry, but still, I want to show you guys exactly how, you know. So let's see if there's any track death penalty. Pedo, pretty interesting. But top 10 holders at percent, I wouldn't look at it. The trench dog, it has some volume. I wonder why it's so why. Cute little dog thing. Let's look at the X. Looks like they're putting in a little bit of work. They got some memes. Like these are the things to make some money on. We saw this early. This would have to get it. And then sometimes you could look at the pump fund. You can see if the community even on pump fund. This isn't as much of an indicator these days. A lot of people aren't really on pump fund, pushing coin like that. You know, you could take a look at it. See the social. Any website. No, they got a community brewing. This can be something. If you want to look at the community, you wanted to believe in something. Sure, it's a nice dip for 2x, 3x if you like. But maybe you want to wait for top 10 holders to clear out a little bit more even distributions. What happens and boom. So you can see here. So there's Twitter plays, there's meme plays. My favorite plays are the meme plays. All right, like genuine memes and some things with narrative. Usually you're gonna find that on crypto Twitter. This anglerfish, I got into the real anglerfish. Man, that's a real narrative. First fish, anglerfish, black devilfish, whatever it's called, that rose up from the darkness into the light that people saw. That was a very interplay, and it became a whole narrative. It had over 40,000 posts on TikTok alone. That's a volume. That's a narrative. That's strong. That was an easy 2x. Now, if you look over, and I saw it late as well. Now, another thing with the AI plays, you always want to look at the dev. So if go to Pump Fund and you see here the dev and see coins created, you want to make sure it's not somebody constantly creating coins. That's how you know it's LARP as well. Because if I go back to Agnes and I click on Agnes and I click on one of the LARP, let's see, click on the dev, coins created. Oh, they're getting smarter. They know because you could see if it's LARP just because it probably created a bunch of coins. So that's another indicator. See how many coins that the dev has made. Is it an original coin or is it just a dev that created a bunch of? Not to say that if it's, you know, if it's just a meme, it doesn't really matter. Dev is gonna dev, but this is a cool narrative. Look, petition to hold to 100 mil. This is interesting. You can see it. It came out. This is something I would have 100% bid on. It went up to close to 1 million, right? After bonding, right? You see organic. Look how organic this is. It was catching bids, you know, buys and sells. This is called accumulation phase, right? People are accumulating and then slowly, then it pumped. You see Dex is paid. Let's see the X account. They made that for it. It prompts you to follow them. They already got a bunch of followers. Show no me for now wants to help save the chances. Show them this. Yeah, so I guess you could sign and go on this petition here. So they're getting a bunch of reads. They're getting a bunch of pretty in, right? And this is on narrative as well because people are so tired of this hyper rotational market. And who knows if that's going to change, or maybe the meta turns back into the holders market, or maybe it just goes more hyper rotational and more competitive. But right now, at this moment, after everybody got wiped last week, everybody wants to change the narrative. They want community. They want to hold really bad. Who's to say if that's going to happen or not? But this is something that is on there that can be a pretty safe bid. And even at price, this is a B-level bid. It's hard for me to even pick bad shit because I automatically take it out of my mind. And that's what's going to happen. The more again, the more the bad shit doesn't even register in your mind. You're only going to have eyes for things that look good because certain this. Why would anybody 40% snipe? And this is perk of using Axiom as well because Axiom shows you bundle. You used to have to do more research for that. They show you snipers. They show you top 10 holders. They show you, how many people are pro traders, regular holders. These are all good things. They show you Twitter, right, which is really good as well. Now let's see here. Anything. Right now the market's kind of slow. It's a Sunday going into Mondays. I don't think we'd find any really like that would have volume now. Usually in the mornings we'll start to pick up. But yeah, so this is how you scan, fam. This is how you scan this. You look at what to bid and not to, right? And you're looking for volume. You're looking for things that's already getting bids. That makes sense because this 3 million, whatever, 70% insiders, Doge Dodd, it's been going up this whole time. Right? You see a few traders got in. See what it is. New Doge account targets Pentagon to waste fraud. Oh, Doge deal, some new Doge, right? And you see people are. We just looked at this before. People are really pushing this, so that's a sign of volume. They have a community behind. Now you can see things has been going up only. Now bid at this price, I would wait even if this was, but I would have loved to get in early if we saw that. This would have been a good one because you see banners already paid. Banners paid. Holders are up like crazy. Like this would have getting in early and holding. Could it? All right, family. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you're looking for, what to versus to not, right? And that's how you do research. Look at the social, look at the confirmations, right? You can see right on your chart if other traders are in, if they're still holding or not holding anymore. You can see all those, all right? So this is how you find coins and scan for coins that are good for they 10x, for they 20x, for they 100x. This is where you're going to find them before you see them undiscovered. So that's how you scan, family. I hope you got some really good info out of that, some value out of that, and move on to the next video. Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna show you how to spot bundles. It just straight up. Okay, now, usually for the most part, you could look on any 1 second chart, and when you see a big candle within the first 2 seconds like this, that is a bundle. Okay, family. So what's gonna happen is, they're gonna price up, buying up, and getting, aspiring traders just like you to buy in, and then what they're gonna dump on. Now, it's not always this obvious, right? So which is why I really love that Axiom shows exactly what's a bundle, what's not. Great statistics. Now you go back to Pulse. You can see here, this is percent bundled. Right now, this is a token that ran up and it looks like it was initially already bundled. Maybe they cleared the bundle. It looked pretty farmy. This is interesting. I don't know what this is all about. And either bundles never left or they bundled up again on this ride up. But this type of price action does not look organic. I don't know. And what I mean when I say organic, you want to see price have its weight, have its pulse, right? And even in between that, you're gonna see a lot of more, like this. So look, see, they're letting go of some of the bundles here. Now, when it comes to bundles, that's really just people who have a bunch of supply distributed on different wallets so that it appears organic. But it's now we have these tools on Axiom that kind of just straight up tell you bots and all these other things. But you want to keep in mind that sometimes there might be small bundles and projects, and that's fine. You'll get a taste of when to bend the rules and when not to, depending on if it's alpha, depending on if it's something that maybe the runner of the day, and those bundles will clear out. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about 40% bundles, 80% bundles. I'm not, though, sometimes you'll see maybe this 10% bundle, it'll clear out, and whether you want to wait for it to clear out for entry or not, that's you. Now, it is a red flag though, and you do want to be careful because those bundles can sell off at any moment, but you do want to make sure that you're on top of, are able to spot, because for the most part, when you have clean distribution, no bundles, it's going to be a way more organic chart, right, than anybody dumping. So that's my crash course on bundle. I hope you got some value. All right, I'm gonna show you guys Dexscreener. So on Axiom, it already kind of pulls Dexscreener feed here, but on Dexscreener, I just want to show you guys, if you guys don't talk a lot about Dex paid and all of these things. Basically, it's just a kind of like a decentralized exchange. It shows you all the data from the exchanges, and you could basically scan here as well. A lot of people do, but it's only higher market cap coins. So the whole reason for the pump fund trenches, the whole reason for Pulse is to get those 10, 20, 50, 100 X's before they end up on Dexscreener, before they end up mainstream. Like I said, you can see it here now. Axiom kind of changed the game on that. For those of you that don't know, a lot of people use it only scan Dex. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, you could get 10, 100 X's, whatever, by getting early before it's on Dexscreener. But I will say this, by the time it's already on Dex and it's already migrated, because these are all on Dex as well. Once it made it here, that means it's on decentralized exchanges. It's on Radium. That means it's also on Dex. Now, some people do not pay Dex, they don't have banners, and it's just kind of like, you know, they're not really putting effort. So that's why Dex being paid was always a big thing, because, you know, if Dex paid, that means the team is putting effort, this thing can move. And then they update socials here as well, their Telegram, their Twitter, the community, their sentiment. You know, you verify and just kind of put like whether it's a rocket or whatever. Another thing is boost. So now boost is kind of an indicator of a cabal play nowadays. Usually when people pay for boost, it's, I wouldn't say it's a red flag, because it can move like crazy, but it's something to be cautious, because a lot of scammers have the money, they have the capital to pay for boost, and they do it just to get attention coin so that they can dump later on. So always make sure, right? Like, we're going to go over wallet tracking, we're going to go over all these cores. So like, there's a whole bunch of indicators that should line up. Just because somebody paid for boost, and all it does is boost it on Dexscreener 3000 boost. That's why all the way at the top. So it just has way more eyes, because a lot of people scan on. So a lot of normies, a lot of retail. Sometimes the community plays though. Sometimes it could be a cabal play, meaning just insiders like trying to run up a coin and dump on retail. But sometimes it could be a genuine CTO community over, and they're paying to get eyes on the coin, and they're doing everything they can to get going, right? So you got to be able to determine different. So this is why it's good to, you know, periodically check out the deck, see what's going on. And yeah, you get all the same kind of things that you'll see on Axiom, right? Transactions, traders, snipers, holders. You see liquidity providers, but you see that on Axiom as well as usually first holder, and then bubble map. This is basically how you spot bundles. It's kind of older way of how we use spot bundles. Now on Axiom, they just have the straight up. So bubble maps is just another way to see. You see this is probably like a, you know, a logo here. Sometimes if it looks bad, you don't want to get in that trade. So yeah, so this is Screener. Like I said, guys, these higher market cap plays tend to be a lot more safe than the trench plays. But the trenches plays is obviously more risk, more reward. Over here, you catch, you know, easy 2x, 3x, call it. And if you really believe you want to hold, that's on you. But these are the same coins like when they just migrated the Dex. And but that was just for education purposes, so you guys know what Dexscreener is already. Okay guys, on this video, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about SoulScan. So outside of all the bots that you can use to find notable holders and see where supply has been sent and look at people's wallets for just a little bit more deeper on-chain research, it's good to know at least a little bit about SoulScan, even though we have these tools. So for example, let's say you wanna look at, you know, any given play. All right, let's see, Adam 22. Now you could go ahead and you could go to holders, click on there, and this is a quick way to go to SoulScan to see their SoulScan. Now you can see what type of coins these people are in to get an idea if they're a notable holder in that coin. So meaning, let's say Cug is just about to come out and you're debating whether you want to get in or not. Obviously this was like a celebrity play. These are grifters in the space really just trying to dump on you. As you can see here, some traders like to play them because, you know, sometimes we're gamblers at heart, but really, you know, we stay away from these celebrity type of coins or whatever. But just for, again, educational purposes, let's say you're debating on whether you want to get in a coin like this. What you usually want to do is look at the top holders, and you kind of want to see what other coins are they holding to see if they're notable holders, because you can kind of check if they're insiders, if they're good holders, or whatever the case is. Are, you know, are they in with size, like what type of portfolio they have, right? There was times where I got into plays, I wasn't sure if it was a good play or not. Not many tracked wallets. This happens when you're really early. Like, I didn't see any tracked wallets bid on this play or anything, but we were scanning in a voice chat and somebody noticed that one of the top holders was a whale in Chill Guy. So we was like, there's a whale in Chill Guy. We looked up his account and we saw a big amount of Chill Guy in his wallet. We said, wait a minute, if he's a big fish in Chill Guy, this is probably something that people don't know about yet. So we found an insider pretty much. We got on that trade, and I mean, I think we G'd it so early, but it ended up being like 150x. Okay, family, like that's the power in notable holders. And not just that, you can always search for wallets to see where supply has been sent to, or if supply has actually been sent to said wallet. Like I told you guys, Sam Beekman-Fried, there was a play recently with his name because people found his old Solana wallet and they sent him a bunch of supply. So what I did is I went on Twitter, I looked at the screenshot, I looked up the wallet, and then I saw that they indeed sent 50% of supply to that wallet. That gave me an indication that this was a real play that was gonna run. And then I got in and boom, we went crazy. So you can also see like their portfolio here. You can see their portfolio here as well, right? More in detail, go through the pages, separate the pages how you want. And then you'll mostly find yourself probably in transfer, seeing what they bought, sold, etc. This is most of their on-chain activity. Transactions, DeFi activities, balance changes. You can see a bunch of other stuff straight up in SolScan, right? I know Cielo, they charge you to see their portfolio and all these things. Like if you know how to read a SolScan, you can do some real on-chain research. Okay, so definitely play around with it, get comfortable with it, because you're definitely going to be using SolScan when you're doing research. In this video, I want to share with you guys something that often occurs in the trenches that you might not yet understand. Now, sometimes you might see a coin running like crazy and the top 10 holders is like 60%, 70%, whatever the case is. Now, I want to show you a tactic that a lot of trenchers use in order to drive price by sending supply to certain influencers. And the most recent example I could think about was Gary V. This just happened a couple days ago. This ran up all the way to a few million, almost 4 million. Let's see here. Did it go higher than that? All these track trades, hold up, boom. Yeah, so you see it went up like crazy. And if you notice here, the top 10 supply, 76%. You're probably like, bro, why would it be that crazy? And insiders, 70%. Now, sometimes what happens in the trenches is that a coin will go viral because they doxed an influencer or a leader or whatever Solana wallet. And then what they'll do to give it attention is they'll buy up the coin and send half of the supply, or in this case 70% of the supply, over to said influencer in hopes that it'll get some crazy type of attention, right? And with that hype and with that big bold move, whatever, that gives it so much attention and every trader starts to trade it. And you could see, like, if you saw this coin in scanning and you're like, bro, it's getting a lot of bids and I don't understand why, top 10 holders, blah 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 blah, is like breaking all the rules, you'll understand that they found in doxed Gary V's wallet from an old video or whatever, old tweet, they sent them that supply, and that's this wallet right here, and he's still holding 68k in this wallet, right? He didn't even touch it, he didn't even see it, who knows? And that's the idea. So this happens a lot in the space, and it's a strong narrative, right? If you catch these things early, I saw one recently as well. It was a Sam Bankman-Fried play. They found an old tweet where his wallet was doxed, and they sent over supply, and I was able to notice that really fast. I got into the trade, and I think I 4 or 5 deck. This one, I think I completely missed this one, but I did hear about it. And then let's see if the X leads to anything. OMG, Gary just locked, so I guess he locked supply or whatever, right? So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy how these things go. That's the narrative with, the top 10 tokens and supply being sent to people. I just wanted you guys to understand why that happens. Alright guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to see when dev locks tokens or when dev locks supply. This could be really bullish. So when that happens, what you're going to see is the dev indicator is going to be sold. they're not going to have the dev indicator anymore. And then the second thing that you'll see is on SolScan, just to confirm that this is locked supply. You can see here, top holder is 15% alone. The top 10 is 48%. That would normally be, you know, a red flag. But if you know that dev locked supply, they announced on Twitter that they locked supply, right? And usually you'll see it simply with these type of links here, because Streamflow is usually where they'll go ahead and do that. So I find it easier to verify on SolScan with this simple trick, right? So you see 15%, you'll go ahead, click on their thing, open in SolScan, and you'll see the on curve is false. This means they don't have private keys, they cannot sell, and they don't have access to these coins, right? So 15% of supply is locked. And then if you see on their Streamflow, you can also see a little bit more information. You can see here, you know, they have next unlock is 2026 or like whatever the case. But really the main thing that you want to see is that this says false, because you can see we called this in the group, I think it was around like 1 million. And, you know, people were asking like, how do you know supply is locked? And, you know, isn't it bad that, you know, this high of a percentage in top 10 or insiders or whatever? But if you can see that all of this supply is locked, even this 10% and this 10%, it's all locked. And that's extremely bullish. False. If that says true, that means it's not locked. And then we could go back and we could look at the third one, which is also another 10% held by one wallet. Is crazy. But if you look here, you see it's locked. So that's very important if you guys want to, you know, just verify that things are actually locked, because you can see top holder over here, for example, this is like an organic buy. You can see this is somebody who has access to their private keys. This is somebody that can sell, they can dump on the chart. This one's not so bad, 2%, whatever. It's more so important with these higher percentages, right? Because any one of these will just entirely mess up the chart. Okay, so that's how you can tell when supply is locked. And just this amount of supply being locked away for a year or multiple years, as we saw, that was an extremely bullish indicator. This thing went all the way up to upwards 5 mil market. So that's how you know when dev lock supply, and that's how you verify. Yes, you're learning this. Hopefully you've been studying. Hopefully you're going through the course. You're getting a lot of value. Now, one of the main things I always teach is don't trade alone. Get into them alpha groups. Get into them VCs. Don't just extract value. Add value. Don't be in VCs asking beginner questions when people are trying to scan, when it's all in the course. That's the whole reason why I put this whole thing together for you guys. You want to be able to add value and give input as well, not just extract, because it's in these VCs where you're going to find alpha, and we work together to do really fast research, determine if it's real or not, find a good position, and make money together. So it's real important that you're in these alpha groups and you're in these VCs with people that are good at trading. Now, obviously, if you're listening to this video, you're in Rage. So specifically for Rage, get into the scanning chat. Even if you don't see anybody scanning, if you're scanning, go into the scanning VC and you'll see people start to pile in and find alpha together, and you can add value in those VCs. Now, it's really important that we lock in, because who knows how long this whole thing is gonna last. Bull runs don't last forever. I've been in a lot of bull runs, and although people call top on meme coins and all these and all that, I'm pretty sure we do got a good amount of time, 6 months to a year, where we could really lock in and make a shit ton of more money. If you guys are in the VCs already, you're in the group, look at wins. You see people every single day posting wins. This is just all stuff that they're learning from the course. Everything is in depth. It's so A to Z, from beginner all the way to advanced. So there's no reason why you can't be scanning. And one of the biggest things is to scan for a few hours a day. Take the time. You know, a lot of people play video games. A lot of people, you know, binge watch Netflix for hours. Now, this is like a video game. Trenches is the new video game. So if you can lock in, it's just gonna pay you a lot more than all that other bullshit. So yeah, lock in, get into VCs. Very important. Don't trade alone. I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna make it. Now, another thing that I want to add as as well to that is when you're trenching, you're trenching. When you're learning, you're learning. I say that to say this. There are a lot of streamers and influencers that trade live and all this stuff, and even myself, right? You might see me trading live, or even in the VCs, people sharing their screens. Like, if you're there for education, okay, then just be a fly on the wall, listen, study, whatever the case is. Now, don't be that person that's just watching streamers and following everything streamers are doing. You're going to get rinsed, you're going to lose, you're always going to be late. Learn the skill set, find a group of people that are really good at scanning, and get in first, not second. Anytime you follow a streamer, you're in after them and you're out after them for the most part. You're never going to get ahead like that. There's no six-figure trader that I've ever met that watches streamers trade all day. And that goes for even myself included. If you see me streaming or whatever the case is, and you're learning something different, or you want the entertainment, one thing. But if you're trying to make money, you need to be locked in the VC with trenchers. All right, so it's the importance of VCs for you guys. And in the group chat, that's where you share alpha and you see what we're scanning, all these things.
All right, guys, so that is everything that you need to know about scanning. I hope you guys got some value in this video. If you did, leave a like and leave a comment and let me know what you want to see more of. Join the free community. Let's share information together. Let's share some alpha and share some wins, most importantly. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.